Hey everyone, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Mesa. I don't even know where I am today. I'm in Mesa, Arizona, and on Tuesday mornings I come live to show you what I have been working on in my craft room. Good morning, April. Thanks for popping in. And I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but I was supposed to be working and I went on Pinterest. Good morning, Pauline. And you know what happens with Pinterest. You just, before you know it, an hour is gone and you've pinned all these things that that you want to make, and sometimes you get to them and sometimes you don't. Good morning, Jan. Thanks for popping in. So I was browsing Pinterest and I saw a card that just really struck me. It was using the Nature's Prints stamp set with the natural prints dies, and it was created by a fellow demonstrator named Colleen Magnus, and she used a technique called die stenciling. So I watched her video, and so I'm giving her credit because I made a couple of cards similar to hers, and I think you'll really like it. Good morning, Don. Good morning, Sandy. Thanks for popping in. So I'll show you the cards and how I made it and some other things you can do with it. Also welcoming Fran and Nikki this morning. I appreciate everyone popping in. And you'll also be able to watch the replay later. So, all right, let's just pop down to the desk and we'll get started. Good morning, Kay. Thanks for popping in. You got just a brief look at my sunny front window. How are things in North Carolina, Kay? I know it's a beautiful day here in Arizona, going to be about 96. All right, so the die stenciling technique is really quite interesting, and it works well with a lot of our stamp sets in the catalog. So this is the one that I created very first after I saw Colleen's video. Good morning, Joy. Thanks for popping in. So you'll see that little outline around the flower image. And so then I thought, well, what other stamp sets and die sets would work with that? And so I went with the Blessings of Home, and this one's made with the Blackberry Bliss, and then this one is made with the Pool Party. So let me show you how that happens. All right, so the Blessings of Home, it's in the annual catalog. Oh, 83, that sounds absolutely perfect. The Blessings of Home stamp set is in the annual catalog. It's a carryover from our January through June 2022 mini. And then it has the coordinating dies of the Flowers of Home dies. So I am using this stamp set here, and I have it already put on a block, and then I have the coordinating die cut. So what I did with the die cut, and I used thick basic white cardstock, measuring about 5.5 and 4 1/4. You'll need this whole space to be able to create the image. 65 and sunny in Indiana, that's not bad either. So I ran this piece through the die cutting machine, and then I'm left with this stencil piece. All right, so let me get my pieces out. I have a piece of cardstock that I cut out of the deckled rectangles. Have you seen these in Stampin' Up's new annual catalog? These are an awesome set of rectangle dies that give you just a different deckled edge. Can you see how that is? So I cut one of those out. So I'm ready for that. I am going to stamp the image in Blackberry Bliss on my deckled rectangle. When it's a stamp, like I will sometimes go upside down, you know, I'm going to just use my grid paper and check that out. Hey, do you see the grid paper? This is that new in color grid paper that Stampin' Up! Is offering, and it's available to customers as well. So, all right, well, let's try that again. Looks like we're all good to go. Good morning, Judy. Thanks for popping in. I'm doing some die stenciling today, and I want to just do that kind of on an angle. So I have room for the sentiment, and the sentiment I'm pulling from Stampin' Up's Art Gallery stamp set. I like this because it has a birthday, a congrats, good luck, I'm thinking of you. I know I need a lot of thinking of you and a lot of congratulations. So, and birthdays, well, I always need all of these. So that's what I'll be bringing in. I'll go ahead and do that too. I've got it already on a block. Again, in Blackberry Bliss. I always just like to test it out on the grid paper to make sure, well, that's crooked, to make sure that it's all ready to go. But the great thing about the photopolymer is that we can always see through it. All right, so I'm gonna just plop that down here on the bottom in the middle, and then I'll show you the die stenciling technique. All right, that looks perfect. So I have the stencil that I've cut with that one die, and I'm going to lay that over the image. I have one of Stampin' Up's awesome blending brushes, and then my ink. Let's see if I can be careful not to get ink absolutely everywhere. So I am going to try to hold the image down a little bit. See if you can see I'm applying a little bit of ink to the brush, and then I'm going to kind of tap off and start off the image and just start applying ink in this little stencil area here. And you can put as much ink or as little ink as you like, but I'm just gently, I'm not going to try to get too much at one time, but I'm trying to hold the stencil in place so that it doesn't move on me and kind of wreck my outline image. So this is the die stenciling technique that I picked up from a video by Colleen Magnus, another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And so I'm just, that's what happened. But I did not get ink. So that's what that image looks like. And it's very, very pretty. Just gives you kind of an outline there. And then I can put my card together. The designer series paper that I'm using today comes from a hostess pack that you can get if you host a party, and just the beautiful Blackberry Bliss. It's this great collection of designer series papers, double-sided, of course. So that measures 5 by 3 3/4, and then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 white, basic white as well. Good morning, Linda. Thanks for popping in. So I'm going to just use my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to put the card together here and add some other fun elements to it. But you can see how simple and easy that technique is using any combination of dies and images. It's fun to go through the collection and experiment to see what you have that would work. So here's my Blackberry Bliss card base. And I especially do like it with the sun prints as well, but wanted to, I've been kind of on a, obsessed with that lately, so I thought I would try something new. So I'll just put that on here. All right, and then I used Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up. Get those out. Kind of go crazy with the dimensionals. Hey, Kathy, thanks for popping in. Thanks, everyone, for sharing and being here this morning. What are you working on in your craft rooms today? And then I just gotta put that in on an angle. I do want to add some ribbon. Got to have a little bit of ribbon. And I'm using the white crinkled seam binding. And I just took off a piece and going to make a bow. Also remember, you'll be able to see these projects and a shopping list online on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com. Okay, there's a little bow. And with this, I can kind of make it as big or as little as I want. Sympathy cards. I know, they're not fun to make, but people sure do appreciate a handmade and heartfelt sympathy card. Oh boy. Yeah, that doesn't look like you're doing much crafting today, Kathy, if you're going out and cutting wood. But it's good to be outdoors too. So I'm going to add my little ribbon here and get it trimmed off. And the one other little element that's really fun is to use, I have a huge stash of Stampin' Up's Pearls Basic Jewels, and I love to use our Stampin' blends to color them, because I can color them with any color blend to match my project. So, and they color easily and quickly, and then they dry quickly. I did some extra because when I'm done, I'm just going to keep making some cards, because I have some team congratulations to send out, some thinking of you, birthdays. I turned the page to June and went, oh, yikes, lots of birthdays. So I use my Take Your Pick tool, put a few of the elements on there on the front. Now, of course, we need a little piece for the inside because it's a little hard to write on here. So I'm going to take my flower image, the one that we've done already, and used it. And I'm going to stamp that just in the corner down here. And actually, let's show that technique one more time. Just as a reminder, I did cut the die, made a stencil. Then I'm going to lay it over the top of the flower image. And you can I just did a very simple design. There are lots of different designs that you could create with your stencils. I'm doing one in class this week that's a little bit different, but it's just something different and fun that you can do with your stamps. So that just adds a little bit of interest. Well, thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. I do get inspiration from a lot of different places. So we can all learn new techniques and enjoy all the fun products that we have, and then be able to send the cards out and bless someone else's day with them. I just sent my husband to the post office with a stack of mail. Hey, Sue, thanks for popping on. Yes, Judy, and I can do the same thing with the envelope, and you'll get a lot of chance to practice that technique. So that's using the Blessings of Home in Blackberry Bliss. This is Blessings of Home in Pool Party, and this is also from that package of Designer Series paper. I had it in my mind. It's a host offering. And this one I did use the stitched rectangles, and I still did color those pearls with the Pool Party. And then this is my main inspiration. This was the first card I made using the Nature's Prints stamp set with the Natural Prints dies and the Sun Prints 12x12 Designer Series paper, along with the stitch rectangles, and then coloring those pearls again. You got to get some pearls in your stash. Alrighty, that's the technique and the card for today. I really appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to visit my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com for shopping links and other tips and card samples and all of that. I hope you have a great Tuesday. I see some of you have some things planned, and then have a great rest of the week and a holiday weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.